What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POV. Shout out to the joiners. Shout out to the Point of View crew and Trip on This. Today's video, we're going to talk about three things. A little north-south prison politics. Nothing too serious, some common knowledge, don't get too excited. We're also going to talk about how those politics affected me and led to a couple little one-on-ones. It ties in. And you know what else ties in? I am going to react and reflect and speak briefly on that whole situation between Lucky Sun Tzu at Hoodstocks and his guest, that dude, Lefty, and the little viral moment they had and what went down. It ties in, bro. So let's just kick it off like this. As far as the north-south politics go, real basic, common knowledge. The Serranos will not give you a one-on-one. Straight up. You're not going to get a one-on-one with a Southsider. If you live next to one in a dorm and say like he disrespects you and throws his apple in your driveway, or you guys have some words, don't think you're going to say, well, give me that head-up fade then. Let's fight. It ain't going to happen. Or even about one step further and you're on the yard and when one bumps into you or you get a little bit too aggressive playing basketball and you think you're just going to take off on a Southsider and just have that one-on-one, ain't going to happen because you're going to get jumped. There are no one-on-ones. I don't know exactly why that is. I mean, I have some ideas. There's a YouTuber, a prison YouTuber named Dubs that covers a video that says why Southsiders don't get one-on-ones. I never watched the video. Hey, but real quick on Dubs. Man, bro, quiet as it's kept, Dubs used to be my favorite YouTube channel. I get real nostalgia with him. He brings me back to the old days, man. He knows how to paint a good picture. And for the longest, I thought Dubs was active. I used to, bro, shout him out and be like, bro, all love to the homie Dubs, bro, an active Southsider with a YouTube channel. That's what I thought. But then everyone put me up on game and said, no, he hasn't been active for the longest. However, though, he did do a video why Southsiders don't give head-up fades. I can guess why. Well, Woods do give head-up fades. And let me tell you, it can be a little rough. Because there's a dude from my neighborhood, Rexon Acres, Welder Mike. And we were on the farm, Kern County Jail. He went to school, and he came back to school, and he's like, hey, man, I'm going to give a head-up fade. I'm going to go one-on-one with this black dude. We got into it. We had some words at school. I'm here waiting for him. And sure enough, as soon as he was saying that, here comes this black dude, about 3 or 4 of his friends. And they came in there. That black dude and Welder Mike went to the bathroom and caught that fade. Dude, and he handed Welder Mike his ass, bro. Mike got beat back, homeboy. He got knocked all the way in between the toilets, dude. It kind of hurts your heart to see when your homeboys get knocked, bro, by another race. I'm just keeping 100 with you. Now, of course, we were there when he knocked him on the ground. We broke it up. That's one good thing about you having your homeboys there. I mean, it is a one-on-one, but at the same time, not going to let it go too far. So, yeah, it can be humbling, and it could not be uncool to see one of your dogs get beat up by another race. So maybe they don't want to be humble in that manner. I don't know why Southsiders do not give head-up fades. Neither do the Norteños. But the Paisas will give you a one-on-one. The Woods will give you a one-on-one. Blacks will give you a one-on-one. I believe some Asians will. It's the Serranos and Norteños who will not. But here's what the story's about. Here's what the video's about. Because when did that rule come into play? No one-on-ones for the Southsiders. I always thought that rule came into play late 90s. Because I fought 2 Southsiders one-on-one in about the mid to late 90s. And both those incidences were only about 3 or 4 months apart. One in the Barracks 8, Kern County Farm. One in Barracks 21. A one-on-one with a Southsider, no one jumped in. So with that being said, recently I was kicking with a Southsider, and I said, dude, when did that rule come into effect? No one-on-ones. He's like, it's always been that way. And I said, it's always been that way. What? Boom. How can that be? Because I fought 2 Southsiders one-on-one. Why didn't I get jumped? And I'm talking Kern County Jail. The farm is an active yard, homeboy, and they run it accordingly. Bro, there's always somebody out there who's doing something, homeboy, and pushing the hard line, and there's people are packing the filetos, and there's checking the paperwork, and all that out there. People getting mollywopped. So there's no way that's a rule, no one-on-ones, that I would get not 1, but 2 one-on-ones. So I don't know. I'm not saying dudes is wrong, and that hasn't always been a rule. I'm just like, dude, I wonder why they didn't enforce it. Now, as far as those fights I got into, the one-on-ones with the Southsider, it's interesting because they're both over the same thing. Both those fights were over the same darn thing. Because if you follow this channel long enough, you will know that when I was 15 years old or so, my cousin Scrap Diego put a tattoo this big on my back, looked exactly like a black dude. Looked like Eazy-E. He had a sideways cap. He had like Jerry curl, a big gold chain with like a K emblem for me, Chris. But he's wearing, it was real shabby done. He was wearing one boot, one shower shoe. He was this no shading, stick figure. Hey, but you can tell it was a black dude. Eazy-E. And we liked rap music at the time, mostly Beastie Boys. I don't know why he put it on there. I don't think he's trying to disrespect me. He just did it. And like I said, I thought it was cool at first. So I started going to county jail, realized looks like a black dude, and start getting the blues from people. Homie, they would talk smack. And one day I'm out doing pull-ups on the yard where they hang the mops. Barracks 8, minding my own business, daydreaming about the streets, singing a sweet melody in my head. Bro, I'm not caring about nothing. And this Southsider I know, him and I ended up being cool after this. And he's from Shafter. He goes, hey, Splinter, come here. And I walked up. He said, hey, come here. And I was like, which, hey, I don't do that anymore. That's a rule I will not break. I have this rule. I do not come when I get fingered. You're not going to say, hey, come here. And I'm going to, no, why don't you come here? Why do I got to go to you? Unless you're my boss and authority figure. But just some dude on the yard, come here. And I just, no, ain't happening. At that time, though, hey, come here. And I went over there and he goes, hey, show your homie, show my homie the tattoo on your back. Dude, my face got beat red. And I said, fuck you, bro. I said, fuck you. Because what does he want to do? Make me the butt of the joke? Am I going to go, oh, okay, and show it to him so he can go, oh, sit and laugh? No, I said, fuck you. And when I said that to him, his homie told him, he said, hey, you know what time it is? Because two of them sitting there kicking it. He said, Splinter, show my homie a tattoo on your back. I said, fuck you. And his homeboy told him, you know what time it is. In other words, you guys go get busy. We went in the bathroom and got a one-on-one, homeboy. A couple Woods were there, a couple Southsiders were there. There was no tension. Everyone watching the fight. The thing about it, dude had really short arms. I remember thinking that. Like a T-Rex. I remember him thinking he had short arms, bro. And like I said, he ended up being a good friend of mine, so I'm not trying to clown. But there was a crazy moment in the middle of that fight when I was throwing a jab, and somehow my fist hit his head, and his head hit the wall. So there was this, and then he was trying to throw punches, but his arms were too short. And it was like, it looked like a cartoon, bro. I almost busted out laughing right there in the middle of the fight. And usually I don't even catch things like that in a fight. You're just so busy fighting. But homie, I couldn't miss that, seeing my fist like this, and I knew he couldn't reach me. Homie, we got him up. I ended up tripping over my own feet. That's the story I'm sticking to, and fell down. That's when the fight got broken up. Homie, I fell down. The fight got broke up. We each had a bloody lip. It was a cool little fight. The thing about it, though, here's where I want to tie in that thing with hood stocks. With Lucky and Lefty. Here's where I want to tie this in. Is because I told dude, fuck you, man. When he tried to make me the butt of his joke. When he said, hey, show my homeboy your tattoo. Like if I was going to go. And, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting myself on blast. Fuck you, bro. So that's the issue on Hoodstocks. Lucky Sun Tzu, it's his platform, his podcast. He had the guest on, that dude Lefty. He has more of a name. I'm not going to say what it is. I'll lose monetization hell quick if this cussing already didn't do it for me. I'm really trying to quit cussing too. And not monetization for the soul. Anyway, Lucky and Lefty are having a conversation. And Lucky tells him, fuck you. He's like, hey, kid, blah, blah, blah. And Lefty got upset. He's like, whoa, whoa, he said, woo, woo. And that's what started the whole thing. So then the question really comes down to, was Lucky out of line? Was Lucky Sun Tzu out of line by telling him, bro, I love old Lucky, homeboy, and I don't even know who this Lefty is, but just to give my opinion, because it's a podcast, they put it on the internet for everyone to see, I'm reacting to it. I don't think Lucky knew him like that. I think Lucky was out of line. But dude, duh. Of course he was, Splinter, because Lucky knew it too. He was apologizing. My bad. I'm glad I didn't leave that out. But that's such an important part of the story. That's why I used to write notes for my videos, homeboy, so I don't leave stuff like that out. Lucky apologized. When he saw Lefty, he was like, whoa, 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 you can't talk to me like that. And that's real talk, though. They don't know each other like that. I mean, the 3 words that are just a no-no in the pen, bitch, punk, or lame. Bitch, punk, lame are fighting words. I don't care who you are. I don't care what race it is. I don't care where you are or what you're doing. If anyone says one of those 3 words out of their mouth to you, you take off instantly. Homeboy, those are just fighting words. But at the same time, there's other little fighting words like runner up. Okay, bitch, punk, and lame, but runner up, fuck you. I mean, hey, homie, you don't know him like that. Now, my brother Ricochet came over, and he was in my closet. He went to go grab a shirt, and I was like, fuck you, dude. Forget you, dog. I'm not going to keep saying that word over and over. Forget you, I say. No, don't grab that shirt. My brother's going to be a ha, 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 ha. Because that's my brother, and I might say, hey, dude, you going to fix my car? The hose is leaking. He's a good mechanic. Forget you, he might say. I'm not looking at your car. Ha, ha, ha. We might even call each other bitch. Keep it real. Give me that soda, bitch. But just who can, whatever. But, dude, Lucky and Lefty don't know each other. And it's on there, and Lefty had a good point. So this can go viral. Someone could cut that little tiny clip out of Lucky telling Lefty, forget you, and just have like a little 5-second little clip, run it on a YouTube short. Homeboy, put whatever context and spin they want on it. And that's what Lefty said. Bro, it's going to go viral, you saying that to me. Lucky Sons do apologize. It still turned into an issue, and they stood up, and it was what it was. The point is, homeboy, Lucky was out of line by saying that to him. But then Lucky did apologize. So I think Lefty was out of line for not forgiving him, homeboy. He should have said, I accept your apology. And that should have been that. So, hey, 2 wrongs don't make it right. Anyways, I actually got into another fight with a Southsider over that tattoo on my back. The one that happened to the dude from Shafter, who he said, hey, show my homeboy your tattoo. And I said, And we went to the bathroom, and I ended up pinning his head up against the wall, and he was, When that happened in Barracks 8, dog, but then a couple months later, and that was a fight, dude. That was like a 4 on the fight scale. We weren't even that mad. It wasn't even that big of a deal. And we mostly fought because his homeboy told him, you know what time it is? He's like, all right, we got to go check him because he said that to me. It wasn't like neither one of us were like mad. The next one, Bears 21, I fought the Southside. This was more. This is mad. Much more added to it, bro. I apologize. I keep kind of doing this. I know it's not a good look. But anyways, I know the time. So, dude, I'm at Bears 21. AM Kitchen. If you ever worked in AM Kitchen, you know there's going to be a, gosh darn it, you know there's going to be like a big old sink right here, that like a big old crazy food disposal. You'll have this hose thing right here, this machine that runs everything through. And I don't know why, but there's a big old hole in the wall. Here's a door. There's no door, but a doorway. You walk in and out of that dishwasher. Here's like a wall. Here's a sink, and here's a hole. Don't know why. No idea. But my homeboy, Ron Owens, was walking by. The one who named me Splinter, homeboy. He's walking by, and I would try to squirt him every once in a while. I'm doing dishes. I see Ron, squirt through the... Oh, I know why they put the hole in the wall. She could squirt your homeboy when he walks by. Duh. I do know why that hole is there. Okay, so you can squirt the homeboys. Ron Owens walked by. I squirt him. But then someone walked by. It wasn't him. I thought it was him. I squirted. It was a Southsider. And he's like, hey, man, made a big deal. Got me all wet. Really straight. I said, dude, chillax. Tranquilo. You're in the kitchen, bro. If you haven't gotten wet by now, you're going to get wet. By the end of this shift, homeboy, maybe it hasn't happened just yet, but stay tuned. Just wait. That's why I see people walk around with big, tall rubber boots, aprons. Someone put trash bags over their heads and put the arms. You're going to get wet, bro. You're going to get wet. And never we used to leave the kitchen to go back to the dorms, and they had to search us. They'd strip search us. The cop would always say, take off your pants and jacket. Sounds a little weird. Take off your pants and jacket. How he said he... Take off your pants and jacket. Hey, homie. I said, if you haven't got wet yet, you're going to. Just kick back. So anyway, then all the work shift, dude, we were kind of like giving each other the sideways eye. Just a couple little mean mugs and mad dogs. We weren't feeling each other. We weren't vibing at all. And he just got there. I've been there a couple months. So we go back after the shift is over. We're working in the kitchen now, AM Kitchen. We go back to the dorm, Barrett 21. That's when everybody showers and stuff. I just got out of that shower, standing there with my boxers on, talking to Ron Owens. Dude goes walking by, and he goes, hey, what's that on your back? As he was walking by. And then he turned the corners over here, and I go, what does it look like? And he says, it looks like a little guy holding a knife. And I go, well, that's what it is. Which that ain't even all that rude or disrespectful, huh? Maybe it was my tone. That's what it is. Hey, what's that on your back? What does it look like? Guy with the knife? That's what it is. Those were the words. I guess it must have been in my tone, homeboy, because he came over all mad and got in my face like, oh, what? Got all up on me to the point that I pushed him. And he did one of the most coldest things to me, bro, that anyone has ever done in a fight. When I pushed him, he reached over the back of my head and he punched me. Made like a sandwich, bro. Punched me right in my eye. Just clobbered me, dog. And, bro, it was on and cracking. That whole fight, we were on our feet. In every one of those dorms, those barracks on the farm, there's a big, like, poker table. People play chess and pinochle, all that. It sits right in the middle. We stopped in the middle of the fight and each grabbed the table so we could move it. My shoe fell off and he stopped, let me put my shoe back on. We went from the shoulders the whole entire time. And I got one of the biggest compliments in my life afterwards because there's a student named Bishop, the Southsider. And afterwards, Bishop said to me, apologize. He didn't say to me, after that fight, Bishop said to the dorm, to the barracks, because I fight like Splinter. My fighting style is like Splinter. Like, bro, boy, that's a compliment. Thank you. You want everyone to think that you fight like me. Cool, I love it. We went from the shoulders the whole time. Finally, though, I hit him, and I could tell it dazed him. I could tell it really dazed him. He was like, whoa. So then I started to go full blast, and that's when he rushed and tackled me, and we fell to the ground. But I got up first, and he's still on his knees, and I cracked him while he was getting up. That's when the Southsider jumped in. That's when all the Southsiders, they just grabbed me and pushed me up against the wall. Not they jumped in, because dude was on the ground, he was getting up, and I hit him. That's when the fight was over. There was a couple woods there when it started. There was this wood there from Lake Isabella. His name was Terry. That's about on woods named Terry. Anybody named Terry, it's not a woman. Anyway, no, I apologize, her name's Terry. I'm sorry, Terry. Hey, Terry and Carrie, you're good with me. Anyways, this dude Terry, long blonde hair, homeboy, this wood, he used to just work out 24/7, and he used to talk about how badass he was, homeboy, how many black belts he had, and everything he can do. He was the first one to go running out. Me and that dude fought. There wasn't even no tension. It was just me and this dude were chucking him. All the Southsiders were kicking, no one was tripping on nobody. But dude, I'm ashamed to say a couple of the woods went running out. We're not going to have your back. It's like, I didn't want you to. But after the one in Barracks 8, the dude from Shafter, we never become a good friends. After that happened, it was over. It was done. After this fight, though, when I went outside, it was like every Southsider on the yard was in front of our gate. Because it's like a big yard, 900-man yard with 21 barracks surrounding it. Weight pile, basketball courts, volleyball, the whole nine. Dude, every Southsider in the yard was right there. And some woods, too. Like, what happened? What's going on? Me and Ron Owens start calling that dude Willie Lump Lump. Now, I had a huge black eye from when he grabbed the back of my head and sandwiched me. Huge black eye. But he had lumps all over his head. Willie Lump Lump, we called him. And not only that, that dude, that bullio got out the next day on sheriff parole. So he went home. And then almost nothing worse than that, dog. Then going to jail just for a week. And then getting out in the streets and you're all beat up, lumped up. I guarantee he came with the story. You're not going to say some slim and trim like a bicycle rim, peckerwood, put the tips on me. But you got to see his big black eye, he might say. No, I ain't going to say that. Probably going to say, hey, man, I got into a riot. Fought 5 dudes. So, bro, 2 fights that tattoo got me in. Both of them with Southsiders. Both of them one-on-one. When supposedly they had a rule, no one-on-ones. Just curious. I always thought that rule, homeboy, was something new. I guess it always been in effect. Don't know why I didn't get jumped. I guess maybe, I just don't know why. I don't know why, brother. I don't know. But dude, as I see this picture of me right there, as I see this picture of me, and there's little Amanda, it reminds me of my homeboy Tom Tom. Because Tom Tom has his own portrait of himself on his hand. And how he got the face right was a quarter. He put a quarter on his hand, he circled it, and that was his head. And then he went for the hair and did the face. Tom Tom has his own portrait on his hand. And everyone's like, dang, think a lot of yourself. And I got my portrait on the wall. It just reminds me of Tom Tom. Now, Tom Tom and I are very good friends. However, several years ago, he stole from me. He clipped me. Or maybe he didn't steal from me, but something got clipped at his pad. It was a Rob Dyrdek figure. Skateboard figure. Rob Dyrdek. Still in the package. From the early 90s, bro. Probably one of the first ones. I was almost thinking it was from the 80s, but Rob Dyrdek come out in the 80s. Okay, early 90s, bro. First line, first production of his toys, bro. Rob Dyrdek with a skateboard, early 90s, still in the package. Comes missing at Tom Tom's house. And I'm like, bro, where is he? He's like, maybe Kelly took it. I'm like, dude, you gotta, homeboy, are you gonna make it right? I mean, what's up? And it just didn't make it right. It never got right. So I went over there and clipped him. You know, hey, he pulled up as I was leaving, I guess you could say, and he's seeing me, and it's like, he was honking. Of course, I left, not stopped, but business guy being there, blah, blah, blah. He clipped me, I clipped him. But that's been several years ago, and prior to that, we were friends for several years. So I wonder what would happen if we see each other right now. Would we reflect and think of the 10 years of friendship we had and all the cool stuff? We've been roommates, dogs for a long time. What's up, bro? Or are we going to think of the Rob Dyrdek and the whatever thing? Oh. If I see him and I could tell by his body language, he's relaxed, and I can see his smile and his eyes twinkle, and he's cool, I'll be cool. He wants to squash, I'll squash it. I'm not going to bring up the Rob Dyrdek, homeboy, if you don't bring up nothing. Hey, don't start no shit, won't be no shit. I mean, but with that being said, I'm going to cut the string and let it fly. Peace.